Hello everyone and welcome to your show Around Kuwait. This is your host Abdulaziz Darwish. As usual in our show, our daily program will share with you about the latest events and occasion and the trends happening in the state of Kuwait. And sometimes we're interviewing a distinguished guest who are going to join us. We'll talk more about different perspective and majors. And before we start, I would like to greet our working crew and our co-host Hiba. Hello Hiba, and we're happy to see you today.
Hello Abdulaziz, and a great welcome to all of our viewers who are watching us today in a new episode of Around Kuwait. As usual, Abdulaziz, we have lots of great topics prepared actually for our viewers, and we're going to present it, of course, in details when it comes into that. And I'm very sure that one of the things that we're really agreed on, that the weather is becoming really beautiful and everyone is going to go outside when you have lots of activities in that perspective itself.
In addition, 25 degrees Celsius. The
Yes.
road when we take it to come to the studio, we already opened the window. Now is the time for the beginning for, we say winter is coming.
Yes, indeed.
Now is the time winter is coming.
Yes, indeed. So, of course, as usual, we have prepared some of the headlines that we're going to talk more about today, starting with the Kuwait exhibition. As we just said, the weather is becoming great, so we have lots of exhibitions happening, but this exhibition is very special because it's more about raising awareness about people in Gaza and especially in Palestine.
Yes, in addition, today our topics, dear viewers, we're going to talk more about the exhibition supporting Gaza for the Palestinian heritage. And in addition, we're going to talk about now that we call animation. Animation now, the word, it's already high demand in the Middle East and even GCC and even in the state of Kuwait. We'll talk about the AIU Film Festival. They're holding one of their workshops about the art of animation by Sayud.
Yes, and I'm very sure that everyone really knows this kind of animation and people are really excited about it, and we're going to talk about it in details. And of course, for our last headline for today's topic, we're going to know more about the workshop that was actually presented by Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Jabr Sabah Center, that was actually more presented when it comes into teachers and education field, and of course when it comes into their participation, and of course the ceremony that actually happened within.
And they are awarding the outstanding students who already being, the workshop has to be in 10 hours, but all in a science field like mathematics and science and even more and physics.
Yes.
So we are awarding the outstanding already teachers, and even I know Sabah Al-Ahmed Center for Creativity and Giftedness, I know the students are there, are high talented, outstanding students. So
Yes.
when you are as like you're working in the education field, you are teaching outstanding students. So it gives you like a challenge to give them the best. Your
Indeed,
best, right?
and the most important thing is always focusing on teachers, because they have the best, of course, facilities in order for them to, let's say, present the knowledge that they actually need. So, of course, the viewers are going to talk more about our topics in details after this report, so stay tuned with us.
The 58th exhibition, hosted by the Palestinian Heritage Center in Kuwait in collaboration with the Palestinian Embassy and Women's Cultural Association, had a powerful message: aid for humanity.
We're here today at the Palestinian Cultural Center in cooperation with the Embassy of the State of Palestine and the Women's Cultural and Social Society and their 58th installment called Humanity Calls. So we welcome to the vibrant Palestinian Heritage and Culture exhibition where the traditions comes to life. This event celebrates the rich history, art, and stories that define the Palestinian heritage. So please come and discover with us.
What made it special was that all the proceeds from the event were dedicated to providing humanitarian aid to Gaza. The initiative brought people together to make a difference. By celebrating Palestinian heritage, it also supported a vital cause. The funds collected went towards aiding those facing hardship in Gaza.
This exhibition is a really important opportunity for all of us to learn more about Palestinian history and culture. So much of who we are as human beings comes through in our art, in what we produce, and there are incredible stories that are reflected in all of the beautiful pieces that are here today.
This collaboration demonstrated the beauty of unity and compassion. It emphasized how art and culture can serve a greater purpose by bringing communities together to help those in need. In essence, the 58th exhibition in Kuwait stood as a symbol of hope and support. It celebrated culture while making a tangible impact on the lives of those who require assistance in Gaza. It showed that when people unite for a common cause, they can truly make a difference for humanity.
Such a wonderful exhibition. We saw many interesting people. We took some really good answers. A very beautiful and vibrant history, arts, and what a wonderful day. So back to you guys at the studio.
We are back to our show again around Kuwait. We'd like to thank the working crew for preparing such an amazing report. We'll talk about now the exhibition was like supporting our family, our friends in Gaza. So it's already collaborate for 3 entities.
Yes, yes. So one of the collaboration is actually presented when it comes into the Palestinian culture. Embassy itself was actually participating. So
The
we
first
have
one?
the first one, the Embassy of Palestine, and we also have the Palestinian Culture Center in Kuwait itself.
Yes.
And also when it comes into the women itself, when we're talking about, let's say, Women Cultural Association in that matter, this kind of collaboration actually highlights that kind of warmth when it comes into the state of Palestine itself, the 58th anniversary that actually happens when it comes into having such, let's say, exhibition presented in that matter and that topic, and rising the case of Palestine and trying to share that kind of awareness when it comes into that.
And it's worth mentioning the theme of this exhibition. The name is Aid for Humanity.
Yes.
I know even you have the chance to be there to cover it on air in the field, like you are being in the site.
Yes.
So when we mean in the theme, like every fils counts, because for charity for Gaza and you being there in the spots, you see like Palestine is the country of heritage and culture and history, everything. You've been there, you saw it by your own eyes.
Yes.
And today we'll speak about the exhibition. So we do something for them. I know like people, when we, like the 3 collaboration, like Heritage Culture Society and the Palestinian Embassy and Women Culture Association, they want to show about the history and the precious the culture of Palestine and you being there. What do you want to say?
Of course, we're talking about that. We just want to raise a very great awareness when it comes into people, and trying to always validate when it comes into the time you spend with your family, and of course when it comes into the validation of your heritage, you know. Because when we're talking about that, I mean, talking about Palestine itself, 50 plus, let's say 70 years and plus when it comes into such occupation, talking about the time itself, talking about the heritage. I mean, they always mention olive trees, and they always say that olive trees live very long. And talking about the years that have been said, and so many phrases when it comes into olive trees, that their owners, if they knew that the owners actually been taken away from its own place, it would have, let's say, been treated in a different way. I mean, we're talking about this kind of heritage and representing it, of course, to the audience is very important. They always say that there's a very great bonding connection between art and between, of course, trying to represent and present the case itself. I mean, sometimes words are really hard to be listened, but or let's say to be heard. But when we're talking about art and something visual, lots of people would like to see something that represent the case, that represent a message. And people do like mystery and trying to find and solve some kind of, let's say, mystery in any case. So Palestine could be a case for a lot of people, a mystery case they would like to solve, a puzzle. So having that said, within these exhibitions is one of the things that makes people more, let's say, into knowing about and trying to explore more about.
And even in addition, when you from your topic, it's like a mystery and a maze. But when you mention about the olive trees, you know, the coffee of Palestine, you will see in the side of the coffee the olive trees.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why when I am studying the coffee, it have like a huge deep culture on it.
Indeed.
That's why when they are producing the coffee, they did it on purpose to put the olive trees and the gardens and the history of Palestine in the black and the white color.
Yes.
So that's why this is like this kind of exhibition. I know it's very unique, and people during this time of case, it's important to share for all the expats in Kuwait and the people the importance of the Palestinian case, because it's not just a country, it's the country of heritage, of culture. It's for Arab identity and for the Islamic also religion, because this is like we call it the heart of the Islam, because it's already mentioned in the Holy Quran, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa.
Yes.
That's why people like it. That's why we want to share in a humanity in the soft open through the media, even about the exhibition, the traditional crafts, the heritage, the culture, the clothes, and the people who's participating are Palestinians in Kuwait.
Yes.
Good thing they are like you're talking to the residents in Palestine, even the locusts, so the interaction is good also.
Yes, and this is where the truth comes out, you know, because you get to really get involved with people, maybe let's say, do actually have families when it comes into Gaza itself. And of course, having that said, lots of opportunity for people to ask, to know what's going on the other side. I mean, us as, let's say, people who work at news, trying to cover as much as we can to represent the whole truth. Like, we've seen so many people, especially when it comes into social media, saying that maybe you'd feel like stop posting, or let's say feeling that we're getting used to the news. But the most important thing is to always focus that there's a case that's actually happening and people are supporting it. So one of the most important thing also when it comes into that, Abdul Aziz, is that when we have actually people from Palestine participating, at the same time, it's a very amusing way to show culture, to show heritage, and to be part of the case itself in donating. You know, when you're buying something, you're actually donating.
Right.
So this is one of the things that's very important, because in the end, this is a kind of fund that's been raised to help people when it comes into that, especially the ones that are really in need nowadays in Gaza. So I mean, this is one of the beautiful case that's actually presented.
And also in the beginning, I mentioned in the beginning, every filth, it's
Counts.
important, because like filth with filth, like coins with the coins, we created like a huge amount of money to donating and supporting our families in Gaza. And the most important is that when the people-to-people relationship,
Yes.
it's like a social community, social responsibility. Like we are in a part of this map in the Asia continent, and they are not far from us, like maybe like a couple of hours by flight,
Yes.
but they are very close to hearts, because we have all the Palestinian families here in the
Indeed.
state of Kuwait, and they are working with us all the time. The state of Kuwait is like the place where you see they are our teachers also. You will see we have like some families, we have like, you know, siblings also with them. So the cultures and the merging with us to the state of Kuwait and the Arab cultures, to show the importance of the Palestinian, because it is the land of education, the most high educated people in Palestine. It's important for a long time, even the best teachers.
Yes.
So that's why when we're talking about the culture and the heritage, we'll talk about the people itself. The Palestinian people, they are very high educated people. They are farmers. They are into science. They are into education. This is important, because you will see them everywhere in the world. So
Yes.
every person counts.
Yes,
Every
indeed.
person is important.
Indeed, and of course, when we're talking about that, I mean, having this event is very important to exchange knowledge, to exchange that kind of relation, and let's say trying to know new people, especially when we're talking about different nationalities, as you just said. And I mean, so many people and residents here from different kind of countries. Maybe let's say when we're talking about supporting the case, because we know it has a really different conflict. Some people are supporting it, some people is against it. So some of the people who are attending such events could be the people from the same country that's, let's say, against the case, but within this kind of awareness, you can see that they're actually representing themselves and not the country. So this is also very powerful, because you could really easily be so open to a person that you actually could enlighten them towards what's actually happening in the world itself. And this is a very great collaboration when it comes into that, indeed.
And also we have to mention something, because it's only not about the exhibition of handmade or crafts or maybe fabrics or clothes. We'll talk about art. Art is a universal language. Centuries ago, there is no media, there is no newspaper, no journalists. People depend on art.
Yes.
So when you see some like for the painting on the oil canvas and the others, you will see art about Palestine. You will see the black and the red and the yellow color everywhere.
Yes.
This kind of color shows the mercy, shows the case of the Palestinian, what's happening there, because this is like something we can do. We call them the soft weapon, and art is a universal language. Like sometimes art affects. Sometimes people, when they go there, they see some like the paintings. It affects more than people talking, maybe more than a media or a case.
Yes.
So people, the good thing about the exhibition, they talk from different category. All the categories are important. So they're like gathering all the types of persons they can deliver the message, to donate, to care, to showcase the importance of Gaza's case Hebe.
Yes, indeed. Especially, Abdulaziz, they always say that an artist is a very sensitive person.
Yes.
Therefore, he's really into emotion and trying to represent it in a very great way. So having the canvas, the oil, the brush, everything that actually helps them to actually
One
Yes.
touch made difference.
Yes, one touch makes a big difference. I mean, this is something very important, like always remember that within the simplest thing, you can always be part of, let's say, giving your opinion in a case and trying to support people, the ones who are in need itself. So therefore, dear viewers, that was our first topic. I'm very sure that we talked about it a lot, and I'm very sure that everyone was touched, especially through the report itself, and of course through the knowledge that we presented to you. So we're going to continue towards our second headline, but after this report, so stay tuned with us.
And welcome back. We are at the film festival again, and specifically in AIU, also known as the American International University. Right now there's a lecture going on called The Art of Animation, presented by Sayoud. So let's go in, check out the lecture, and after that we'll ask a few questions. Sit back and enjoy.
In recognition of animation as a standalone art form, the management of the film festival organized a seminar featuring the renowned animator Sayoud. With his distinguished expertise in animation, Sayoud has been captivating audiences for years, presenting profound ideas in a comedic and satirical manner. The seminar delved into the unique realm of animation as an independent art form. Sayoud, known for infusing deep thoughts into his animated creations, shared his insights into the significance of animation.
The art of animation is an important tool in the sense of that you can send certain messages while doing many exaggerations, whether it's in voice acting or in the animation itself. It can add value to the message that you send, especially that it's more appealing to the people. One of the main examples that I gave are the top 10 highest grossing movies of all time. They all include animation, whether 2D or 3D animation. So it's absolutely beneficial and lovely.
His ability to blend depth with comedy in animation was a focal point, demonstrating how this art form can be a vehicle for both entertainment and thoughtful commentary. The seminar became a platform to explore the intricate world of animation, not just as a source of entertainment, but as a means to escape reality momentarily. Sayoud's expertise offered attendees a glimpse into the creative process behind using animation to convey profound ideas in a lighthearted manner.
Today's lecture, I talked about comedy in general and the types of comedy and what are the benefits of comedy, in addition to the animation world and the different types of animation and the industry of animation as a whole, and my main inspirations, as well as the animation industry in Kuwait. We covered a lot of topics, and I hope that everyone gets the best benefits out of this lecture.
In conclusion, the seminar with Sayoud provided valuable insights into the world of animation. It celebrated animation as an independent and powerful art form, showcasing its ability to entertain, provoke thought, and serve as a unique medium for expressing ideas with humor. Sayoud's expertise and the engaging discussion at the festival highlighted the richness of animation as a versatile and impactful art.
I really enjoyed my time at that lecture. Sayoud is such a great person, very great personality. I learned a lot from the art of animation. I'm actually thinking of picking up something and doing an animation actually. So without further ado, back to you guys at the studio.
A special thanks to our colleague, the active presenter Nasser Bourshid, for his wonderful covering with all the working crew who's doing their best for our showcasing about our show around Kuwait. From the name around Kuwait, we're showcasing everywhere. Everywhere for 6 governorates, we are there. Now we're gonna have one spot, teeny little spot in Al Jahra governorates. There is an amazing event. It's like 1 week event, but we are picking one of the days for the workshop for the art of animation.
Yes.
I know you are a big fan.
Yes.
Tell me more.
To be honest, talking about animation itself, it's one of the most amazing art itself, especially when it comes into looking towards the development that actually happens towards the field itself. We can see lots of people now are really into animation because it really developed and really changed when we're talking about all of the updates that happened, especially talking about having AI and having all of the new techniques that's presented. But to me, I find animations very beautiful and helpful in order to represent a message that's very easy and very simple for the audience. You know, you could, let's say, use animation in everywhere. Use it, especially when we're talking about giving rules, instructions, trying to make more of an easy advertisement that's actually reachable for all of them different kind of age. So yeah, I think it's a very important field itself.
And it's worth mentioning the instructor, his Sayoud, he's one expert in his field, and he's well known for the animation to make a Kuwaiti culture, Arabic culture together. He's drawing the characters by pencil style, and he makes different 5-6 characters, the same animation, same eyes, same feature of the face, and he made his Kuwaiti touch on it.
Indeed.
In a silly way, in a funny way, but indirect way to share the message. Sometimes you see it in the big screen, the cinemas, in the commercial, you will see this kind of videos all the time, be quiet, be clean, some instructions about how to behave in the cinema. And sometimes any occasions happening in Kuwait, you will see the new video already publishing and produced by him and his working crew. It's funny, but it's the impact is huge.
Yes.
Because we want to aware the community, aware the people about the importance how to behave well. Because the most important of the animation is one of the we call them the production industry. People now the high demand into animation in any word, in any category, just to draw something, made a character, it make a huge impact. But I noticed he's giving to the new generation. I saw the demand is high. Full house, by the way. When I see the videos, I like to thank our working crew that it was full. So people are interested for the new generation, for the animation. And they are taking the techniques, because when you draw something in animation, it's not easy.
Yes.
They have to count the motions.
Yes.
The motion 1, step 1, step 2, step 3, how to make them walk, how to make them sit.
Yes.
So it's a huge industry.
Indeed, especially that when we're talking about, artists themselves in general, especially the ones who are really into animation and creating their own print in that matter. He really did a great job when it comes into implementing that kind of figures and representing it to the audience. And you could actually see when people are trying to copy someone, it actually represents his work itself. People would say, if I see this animation, I would relate him to the artist himself. We're talking about Sayoud. Therefore, then you will notice that this is not his work, or let's say in the end, the credit is not him. Therefore, you could see that his print is actually represented. The way he actually, produced such art is very appreciated, because it's really funny. It has a really comedy sense of humor, and at the same time, it really touches a very let's say, society and community when we're talking about particular people, the way he draws the different kind of, let's say, people in Kuwait, different kind of culture, backgrounds. You could actually relate them towards really people, let's say real people that are actually associated with their daily life. All of us have a diversity when it comes into different friends from different backgrounds, different, let's say, everything, even the way they talk, they walk, they act in their life. I mean, you can see it all reflected towards his art. Therefore, it's very beautiful, very unique, and it really represents him in that matter. So yes, I do agree with you.
And also, in addition, he shows the significance of animation and the benefits from it. And the most important, how to be creative to show the story. Because in the beginning, it's just a pencil and a paper paper.
Yes.
You have to write all the storyboard, what do you want to do. It's even in us in the studio. We have like to write something about what we're gonna say, the storyline of the episode. So he's writing the story of the videos. Then he do executive to distributing them to the reality. Sometimes we are laughing because he's very creative. So it's a good thing to show the new generation about the creativity and innovation, because okay, I can make any animation, I can make any videos, some motions, but without creativity, without your signature, you will not win. I know
Yes.
there is a support, but at the end you have to show your creativity. Okay, from the story, from the drawing, from the graphics, even more, because this is important. The good thing about him, he's touching about our daily lives, you know, our daily routine. But he shows in a funny way, and extra, you know, funny sometimes when you, people, what's the meaning of the comedy? Comedy means I would do something exaggerate to show you something, a unique message. Even it's more than you imagine, like extra, like comedy. It's not realistic, but at the end it show you the message.
Yes, and to be honest, Abdulaziz, there are some people who do actually act as his animation. Like we have a group of people who are really, let's say, into this kind of reactions and getting really over dramatic when it comes into, let's say, if something, let's say, ruined, whether it's a mother, a sister, a friend. I mean, their reactions is related. Like you could actually point out, like, okay, this reminds me of this kind of person. This reminds me of my mother. The way they react, the way they interact, and the way their all expression is shown is actually related to a certain people that are actually living among us. So yeah, I mean, it's more of, to me, I would see it really reasonable, really close towards our daily life. And it's very beautiful, to be honest. And at the same time, you could never, ever stop laughing once you see his animation presented.
Yes, that's why when we spoke about his animation, now we're going to showcase more about the workshop itself. You know, it was held in AIU, one of the days of the festival, weekly festival, we call it week, to showcase more about the importance of the Kuwait cinema industry and to exchange the experiences from the experts of this field. So when you see Sayoud and the presence from all the people who's interested in animation, public figures, honorable guests, organizers, even the sponsors, students, people interested in the cinema, in the animation, and people, maybe his fans is coming already. That's why the demand is huge, because it was in the mid of the day, in the noon time. I know it's the time, the college time, maybe it's not a break, but people are attending his lecture. So the important is because this kind of the weekly festivals, home festival, cinema workshops and cinema festival week, it's important every year to showcase more about the Kuwaiti talents, the people who's interested in the cinema, because I know the state of Kuwait is the core of theater, is the core of dramatic art, of the series, of the professional platforms. But in the cinema, it's a huge industry. We're doing some little bit like movies before you see in the cinema. But these days you see too many Kuwaiti movies. Like every 3 months you see a Kuwaiti movie. So when you back to the workshop, when you talk more about the workshop, when he's presenting and he's showing in the big screen the steps to create a character. It's not easy how to think about the character. He's old, he's young, the age, the aim, his attitude. He give you he already gave and shared to the audience the criteria of one of the guy we see in our daily life. This is important because some people during the animation, even you see some of the theaters and the cinema is the reflect of your society and your civilization. So when you create an idea to show the people, the creative, to make a movie or make a video or an advertisement, this is important. And he already created a movie by itself by this workshop.
Yes, and you know, having these seminars is very important because, as you just said, it's more of a place where you actually, let's say, exchange knowledge with different kind of age and different kind of, let's say, experts, or even we're talking about talented people, you know, because you never know who's the next, let's say, star who's going to be, let's say, elaborating more when it comes into animation. And the most important thing is that when we're talking about animation and creating that kind of, let's say, art itself, it's more of a depth, you know. It's not only about comedy, it's more about a message that's being held and being covered through comedy itself in order for it to be represented. I mean, animation is not just about comedy. You can see it really emotional. Lots of people, especially when we're talking about cinema industry, the short movie, you know, when they're really animated, there are some kind of really dramatic animated presence when it comes into that. Therefore, it convey a message, it convey a lesson, lots of moral lesson actually to be presented within this kind of category itself. Therefore, people would really, let's say, maybe underestimate it, but in the real world, it's one of the most powerful thing and tool that a person could actually use, especially if you're really talented in that matter.
And also we all convey here to show the people about what's happening in the state of Kuwait. Dear viewers, this is about our second topic for today and Around Kuwait. Let's go to this tiny break, then continue your show Around Kuwait.
Hello everyone tuning in. We are at the Sabah Al Ahmed award giving ceremony, and today they're giving out the ceremony for the program Tears of Help. What's interesting about the program is that it is a Harvard certified program. So let's go in and see the ceremony. So sit back and enjoy.
The Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Center for Giftedness and Creativity recently honored teachers who excelled in a 10-hour workshop offered by the center. The workshop, attended by science educators specializing in subjects like chemistry, mathematics, and physics, stood out for its enriching content. The distinguished teachers, recognized for their commitment and excellence, received certificates of appreciation from Harvard University, one of the world's renowned educational institutions.
SAC, which is Sabah Al Ahmed Giftedness and Creativity Center, is one of KFAS Center. And in SAC, we're definitely taking the responsibility of developing our Public Teacher Institute. So in this occasion today, we launched a program in collaboration with ANAB, which is a specialized platform for training the teachers, and also in collaboration with Harvard University.
This recognition reflects the global standard of the training provided by the center. The workshop aimed to enhance teaching methods in various scientific disciplines. Teachers actively participated, driven by their dedication to improving educational practices within the Ministry of Education's schools. In summary, the Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Center's initiative to honor outstanding teachers is a testament to the commitment to excellence in education. The recognition from Harvard University adds a global perspective to the achievements of these educators, who are driven by a shared goal of advancing teaching methodologies for the benefit of students in the Ministry of Education schools.
What a wonderful ceremony. Congratulations to everyone that received the award. Thank you to all the teachers who basically went through the program. So with that, we hope that basically our teaching program will be in a better place right now. So back to you guys at the studio.
Welcome back, dear viewers. Of course, when we're talking about our third topic, we're going to talk more about the Sabah Al Ahmed centered, gifted centered for actually, let's say, talking more about the place itself, especially the workshop that actually been held within the center itself, talking about the workshop that was held for teachers and for their accomplishment when it comes into participating and being part of it, and especially to note that it is more of the science teachers themselves. Therefore, we can see mathematicians, we can see chemists, physicians, science teachers. All of the science departments is actually represented within the center itself.
And also the Sabah Al Ahmed Center for Giftedness and Creativity. I was honored to be there to see the opening, always to welcoming the new students.
Yes.
I saw the outstanding students there, how they are working too much hard, how they are gathering them, even the exams they are giving to them.
Yes.
So imagine like they do like herding workshops, and they are like convey and gathered all the outstanding teachers and doing their best. You are outstanding also. So creating these people and they are doing their responsibility to teach our students, the young generation, the new techniques and the new things about mathematics, science, even physics. It's important for the new generation because we need too many people working practical.
Yes.
We need future engineers, future doctors, future scientists, future mathematicians, and even people who's working in the practical and applied field, because it's important to have like the balance, and they are creative. So imagine like a student is creating in math method. Okay,
Yes.
and for example, I say it in Arabic, sorry, but you know,
Yes.
because sometimes it's happening. So imagine like if I count with them, I ask him like 5 plus 5 plus 100. He will directly he will answer.
Yes.
Not from our the calculator now. It's like
Yes, it's like you
destroying.
have to be paused and trying to calculate it by itself.
So imagine this outstanding student. They are young. We are encourage them to count. And when you go to the physics is that we call it the basic of the particle itself. This is the definition of physics. Like the particle, we are learning more about the particle. So every wind is a particle. We go to the basic, we're going to the scratch. So we're teaching them the importance of the physics and mathematician and everything like come for we call it like the science field, because science full with knowledge. And they are creative and they are young. Imagine if they are like plus 20 years old later, how they will become.
Yes.
Maybe they will be future professors, maybe people, maybe will be expert in the field, maybe they will be honorable guests in the future. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Who knows? Indeed, I totally agree with you on that. And when we're talking about this kind of workshop that's actually been held, I mean, this is very important because you're encouraging teachers, the ones who are really responsible when it comes into, let's say, enriching this kind of student, because you have gifted students. In order for you to continue with that gifted student, you have to have gifted teachers. Therefore, you have to encourage teachers to be part of such great opportunity presented for them in order for them to continue their work, in order for that kind of student to actually achieve in the future. Therefore, when we're talking about this kind of workshop, it's very important because it highlights the most important thing, which is developing the teacher itself, trying to show teachers in different kind of ways and methods when it comes into representing knowledge itself, and of course representing it to the audience, especially for the students. So having that said and having that collaboration, I mean, this is one of the most remarkable things, because in the end, this is a kind of opportunity. I mean, when it comes into the teachers themselves, they actually participated. They went online for the gifted center itself, and they applied for an application in order for them to actually be accepted. Therefore, we're talking about not any kind of teacher, but a very well-educated and highly taught teacher who are really considered to develop themselves, to gain knowledge from when it comes to the community itself. I mean, dealing with mathematics, science, chemistry, physics, these kind of fields are really very tough in order for you to actually try to break them down, make them really simple, and let students get involved with them. I mean, we're not talking about one kind of teacher for one kind of age, but we're talking about teachers from primary school until high school. You have different age gap, you have different ways in representing knowledge for them. Therefore, I'm very sure it's very important to be part of such events.
Let's talk more now about the teachers themselves. I know when you want to teach young students, outstanding students about something about your major. So it's a challenge for you. I know, like as a teacher, you have to prepare the art of preparation.
Yes.
You have to prepare the subject, the way of teaching, the techniques to attract them, and even more, because it's not easy to teach this kind of students, because it's not about read, write, be in time. It's like ask you, what do you want? What do you want something? What do you want to say? Like this kind of student, I remember once I've been there, and he's like 8 years old. He said to me, I want to be optimistic.
Yes.
See the level how he's already speaking to me. Like
Yes.
he's 8 years old, and he said to me, I want to be optimistic.
Yes.
So it's like maybe he's 18 years of experience.
Yes.
So this kind of students, like I have to deal with adults, but in a technique for children's way.
Yes.
So it's a challenge for me to teach them. As anyone is like being in this kind of field, you have to encourage himself to do his best. Like he's teaching college students. It's not
Yes.
easy. So that's why it's our duty to award them, to honor them. And the certificate, you guess from where?
Yes. It's from Harvard University.
See?
And who wouldn't want to participate? Like, to be honest, I was one of the teachers who wanted to participate, but they actually told me that it's only for science department. And since I'm an art department, so yeah,
Even
it
it's
kept
challenge
me
for
away.
you.
But it was really interesting because, like, I've seen through a social media platform that one of my friends, she's a teacher, her name was Dana, she actually participated, and I was really proud to see her, because she really does a great job when it comes into representing knowledge itself, especially that she's a math teacher, so she deals with numbers, she deals with lots of things that comes into that field. Then for primary school, you know, the critic age, the ones that comes with 6, 7, I mean, and plus, it's so difficult to let them love numbers, to let them count correctly, to let them know how to adjust the numbers, because, you know, we're not dealing only with standard numbers, but the ones that comes within the comma itself. You know, we have these kind of ratio numbers, so therefore it's very amazing to see her participating, and I'm really proud of her. But again, this is an opportunity given for them in order for them to also being recognized and of course being honored through Harvard University, and who wouldn't want to be part of that?
Yeah, everyone is like eager to be in there, but the most important, you have to work with yourself.
Yes.
You have to encourage yourself. You have to challenge yourself. The most important thing is to challenge you. Here and here, your heart and your mind, because you always have to motivate yourself. Like you are want to come here, you have always to change your way of thinking, because I know the world is full with challenges. You have to overcoming it all the time. This is the most important. Like you have to have your own method, your own style, your own charismatic character, and your style and your knowledge, your experience is important in this kind of situation, because maybe we'll ask you something and you don't know how to answer. You have to be always ready.
Yes.
You are always ready.
Yes, indeed. And of course, this kind of opportunities actually to enhance teaching methods in various topics. I mean, we've talked about it and still talking about it. If you are a teacher, you have to always be developing your ways of methods in order for you to approach learners themselves. I mean, you're not dealing with any kind of learners. We have different varieties of learners. We have low achievers, we have mid achievers, and then we have the highest achiever. Therefore, it's a very complex situation for a teacher to work in, because you're not only working with gifted students, you're working with varieties of students. Therefore, you have to be very precise when it comes into trying to evaluate each and different method. I mean, you have to always start with a simple method to enhance the low achievers to be part of the equation itself. And then you have the mediocres, where they actually start to become valid for the highest and the lowest. And then finally, the highest, the most, let's say, difficult person to work with, but at the same time, the most challenging and beautiful person to work with. So therefore, dealing with being a teacher and dealing with being a high achiever student is challenging, but if you're a higher achiever teacher and higher achiever student, that would be very remarkable.
And it's like merging together. It's like a complete series, and it's all for the sake for the Ministry of Education, because the main purpose of the Ministry of Education and for the higher education is to encourage people for research,
Yes.
encourage them to give the best facilities and infrastructure for teaching the students, the upcoming generation,
Yes.
because this is their main issue. So always like encouraging them, giving the best facilities ever. Even we are attracting the teachers to change their way of methods, because this is the duty. Best teacher will create and will give us good students. It's like a social community. So these are the main topics for today, Hiba.
Yes, indeed. So to recall the highlights that we actually presented through the episode itself, so we talked about the art exhibition that was held previously. It was talking about the case of Gaza, and especially for people in Palestine, to raise awareness and to raise more of a donation when it comes into that matter.
So that's why we mentioned in the beginning, it's aid for humanity.
Yes.
Every cent, every fills, it's important to donate for them.
Yes.
We mentioned in the beginning, you've been there, so you are the great ambassador, how you telling us from the side, from your perspective.
Yes, indeed.
And we spoke about their participation, the people, the art and the handicrafts, and also the traditional clothes,
Yes.
because all of them, it's a message for all the universe.
Yes, indeed. And of course, when it comes into our second topic, we talked more about the animation exhibition or workshop that was presented in AIU. And of course, when it comes to that, I'm very sure it's very important to let's say, know more about animation and to always validate how important
Next
it is.
time we have to go there to join them.
Yes, we have to. And then finally, dear viewers, we reach towards our last topic, where we actually discuss more about Sabah Al-Ahmed Centered for Giftedness. And I'm very sure that everyone was really enjoying that collaboration, especially being honored for teachers from Harvard University itself.
And also because it's like we want to teach our outstanding students to be their best, and even to challenge the teacher to do their best.
Yes,
it's
indeed.
like beneficial rewarding for both sides.
Indeed.
For the students and for the teachers, because they are doing their best. Even they do take too much of their time for preparation, but the responsible want to see a good result for our students.
Indeed.
And they are outstanding, so that's why they want to be their best. So the best result for the best, we call equation.
Yes, indeed. And with that, the viewers, that was our episode for today. Hopefully everyone enjoyed watching us.